Good fucking morning. It's Lee. It's hot as fuck in my car. Hold on a second. And I'm streaming live from beautiful downtown Paramount. I don't think we're in downtown now anymore. No, we're not in downtown anymore. And my smart car, as you join me as I go to work this morning. I don't know why I'm streaming live. I just guess it's because I haven't updated in a while. I have this incredibly long backlog of shit that I gotta edit, but I haven't done it because, well, editing takes time and sometimes I don't want to do it. And I have new software from Wondershare that I have to learn, but because I paid for it, so I can't not learn it. But I also don't want to, and it's not doing things I wanted to do. And I just realized that having the AC on means that you get to hear this wind noise because the camera's on the map. No one's watching me this morning, and I don't really care if anybody does. It's really early. Most of my fans aren't up or awake. And I'm dropping merch into my merchandise store, which I'm also in the process of shifting around. I have a Tea for Geeks shop. Teaforgeeks.com has a store. All of our current product is in that store, but I'm actually shifting stuff around because I want to separate Bitter Gay Man from Tea for Geeks. But that's in progress, and it's all in Etsy store, and I really hate the Etsy store because if you're not an Etsy member, it makes the checkout process horrible. But anyway, I did want to talk about something that has been bothering me for the last forever, because I think the newer generation of drivers have no clue what high beams are, or their headlights are out. But if their headlights are out, then I get it. They're trying to avoid that thing, and so they can still see. But if their headlights aren't out, I get the feeling, and I know this from experience, one of my acquaintances didn't know what high beams were. She was driving in her Honda with the high beams always on, and I asked her why. And she said that they had to be on because it was the brighter setting. And I said, no, you're blinding other drivers. And she said, no, I'm not. I'm like, yes, you are. The high beams are meant for when you're by yourself or you're in a really dark area so that you can see above the normal line that you normally are on. They don't mean high as in higher power. It means high as in their higher level. So that you can see, let's say you're in a forest, so that instead of seeing just the street, you get to see the canopies and stuff, and maybe you won't hit something that you're running into. But in everyday traffic, you're blinding the fuck out of other drivers. And since I'm in a smart car, I get blinded by regular cars all the time anyway. So that's not a big issue for me, but I'm late for work this morning, which isn't true. I'm on time, kind of. But I'd be so much better on time if I can make it there in the next 20 minutes. And I don't think that's going to happen. Because I left late, as usual. And now I'm taking streets. I had planned to take the freeway, but the freeway looks horrible. So I'm just going to take my time on the streets and see how this goes. And I'm in Compton right now. My shortcut for the 91 and the 105, it takes the same amount of time, but it feels faster because you're not stopped and we're still moving at some speed, 40, 50 miles an hour, is to take Alondra Boulevard from my home in Paramount all the way down till you hit like Broadway, Santa Fe, Maine, those streets, cut across till you hit 135th, and then take 135th down, because that one you can get up to about it. The speed limit is 40, but you can get up to about that, and it's a pretty nice straightaway with minimal lights because it goes through a neighborhood kind of. And then I take that to Crenshaw, and then I can turn right on Crenshaw and left on El Segundo, and that gets me to work. So I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I'm doing with my blog. I know what I'm doing with my blogs. I know what I'm doing with this blog because this blog's easy. It's just me ranting. For Tea for Geeks, Kristen and I have been so busy we don't have time to actually film, but I do have ideas to actually fly up to Seattle and to other places to have other guest co-hosts, since we're so tied up together that we don't have the time to do these things. One of those is to fly up to Seattle to visit friend James and do the debate of teabag versus loose leaf, and basically show you what the wonders of Seattle and that great shop that James was talking about, that you can have good tea and tea bags still, and you don't have to go. There are the benefits to the loose leaf, and there are the benefits to the tea bag. You just got to find your liking and your taste. I prefer both. I'll use both, but I prefer loose leaf because I control the amount of leaves and caffeine and other crap that's in there, and all the other fun stuff. Whereas in the loose leaf, in the tea bags, you don't. There's a Ford Galaxy in front of me that just doesn't know what it wants to do. The old school Ford Galaxy, not like, because they don't make that Galaxy anymore. We are now near the point where if I stand in my office and people ask, where do you live? And I go, you see that big white building way out there that's just by itself? It's the Compton Courthouse. If you go 5 miles further, that's where I live. So my drive is 17 miles, so I've done about 5. I'm 12 miles out. And I've never had a commute that's been less than 17.